Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Wide with Declan. As always, we'll discuss NASCAR-related topics, so let's get right into it. Our first topic is NASCAR Championship Weekend to return to Homestead, Miami in 2026. So, the 2026 finale on the day after Easter, it was rumored that it would be returning the championship in 2026, but just a few days ago it was officially announced that November 6th through November 8th, 2026 will be the return of the Homestead Miami Championship, which is a big milestone for NASCAR, and this is where everyone has wanted the championship for the last couple of years. And, Phoenix has had the lackluster next-gen racing. All the short tracks have had lackluster next-gen racing. The only those two in 2020 and 2021 were the only good Phoenix championship races. And Miami, obviously, way better with the Gen 7 car. And it just works that that Phoenix, you have a spring race to perfect your setup. For Miami, there's no spring race. You go to Miami, just cold for the championship, their only race, and I love that they're bringing it back. However, it will start a rotation, and Phoenix will be rotating into that spot in 2027. I don't know about, there's no news on beyond 2027. So Miami in 26, Phoenix in 27, and we don't know from then on out. All right, and then our second topic is the Texas Drama Fest. So at Texas Motor Speedway this past weekend, all three races had a good chunk of accidents and drama and crash accidents and drama. So people have said that now I get why people have started to dislike Texas. And maybe we've gotten to the point where we just have to accept Texas as a race where we're going to expect a lot of cautions, a lot of crashes, and a lot of that stuff. Because there were 12 cautions in Sunday's race, and the winner came out of nowhere. Joey Logano coming out of nowhere and winning from Texas. The dominant cars, and a lot of dominant cars had issues. Josh Berry from the lead got too high and spun by himself. Chris Buescher, who was running third near the end of stage 2, blew a tire and was never really able to recover. Tyler Reddick got spun in the last stage, and Kyle Larson fell off. Michael McDowell was going to win until he got passed by the Penske teammates and then got loose and slammed the outside wall, which caused overtime. However, we only got one attempt. We only had one attempt at overtime because they were able to make it back to the white flag. Brad Keselowski's nightmarish season continues with another crash at Texas after what looked to be a good run. The pole sitter Carson Hocevar also got taken out in that crash. And there's just a lot of drama, a lot of crashes this past weekend at Texas. So Texas, maybe it's time that we just accept what it is. And our final topic is the weekend prediction. So the prediction for Kansas weekend, this was the race last year where we saw the closest finish in Cup Series history between Kyle Larson and Chris Buescher. Larson beat out Buescher by 1/1000th of a second, the closest margin in Cup Series history. That had come only a couple weeks after we saw the second closest finish in Xfinity Series history, which was between Sam Mayer and Ryan Sieg. So my picks for this weekend: Kyle Larson, the winner of this race last year. Tyler Reddick, always good on mile and a halfs, ripping that high lane as well. William Byron always runs good here. Just the typical mile and a half, typical speed drivers that we would expect to be running up front here. And that does it for this week on 4 Wide with Declan. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and bye for now.